Okay, I want to say hi guys, how you doing? Welcome to another video. In this video I want to talk about the values and certain things in life, okay, points of goodness. Uh, um, let's look at it from a clean slate, okay, from a blank perspective, completely blank, fresh. So if you have a day in your life and you wake up, what do you see? You know, what kind of people do you have around you? What goodness do you have around you? And how do you value that, Like, everything is about action and time. Okay? How you spend your time, how you use your time rather than allow it to waste you up, waste you out, You go, you might be at home or you might be going to work. Now, to me, as I've said, unless you love what you're doing, your job, and I don't mean being brainwashed into it, I just mean really enjoy the kind of stuff that you do in the job you do. Unless you're enjoying it and it's like just normal life for you as far as you're concerned. I mean, fun, enjoyable, regardless of money. We're talking about life here, living. Then it's going to be a damn waste of life. Absolute waste of life and energy, time and energy. And that's what I see work as, completely. Excuse me. A lot of people talk to each other in a shallow way, and where there's not much thought behind things. They just go along with things like a routine. And a lot of people will talk to each other about, do you know you can earn a lot of money doing this or doing that? If that's a job, how much money can you earn? It's all about money. It's all about money, You need money for things. You need money for a lot of things, especially to survive in this world. But I'm not talking about the need for money and the survival thing or any of that. I'm talking about just living itself, being alive and staying alive, as the song goes. Yeah, but in this world, like, what is there in your time and energy? Why talk to people that don't value you? Why be around them? Why waste your time? Why think about them? Why, or stand there and listen as they berate you? And the people that we do care about, the people that are, who basically care about us, or the people that have similar interests and things like that, those people will definitely have a place of value. Well, and I think, it blows my mind how people cannot see value in time, in life, in their daily life, how they're living, and they just don't see, how they are behaving, all that. But at the same time, you're not a slave to others too. You're not you shouldn't owe each other things. We're just human. You owe it to yourself to have peace in your mind and soul, if there's such a thing. You need to have just peace within yourself, Controlling the self. That's another thing. People talk about self-control. Is life all about self-control? Is life always about, trying to or cater to others? or control yourself to persevere and all this, They say life is a struggle. They say life has a lot of, you have a lot of pressure. Life is suffering. Some people say, certain beliefs as well, I think like in Buddhism they say that, don't they, as well. Life is suffering, It's pain and you have to learn to, endure, but it's about overcoming it. Specific Shaolin monks have said too. This kind of thing, this kind of stuff, So what I'm trying to say is life, if you're trying to overcome pain, struggling, or somehow, and avoid, that's what it really is. It's teaching you that to be strong enough to not be beaten by negative powers, which is weakness, but it's telling you to avoid it. So it's the same in the martial arts, as I always bring up, I always say. If you're in a fight, if you're in a martial art, in a fight, okay, and you're going to defend yourself with boxing or whatever it might be, you're on the street, even. Someone's going to attack. If someone comes to attack you, and they come to hit you, or you could be in the ring, let's say boxing ring, it could be, I'm just giving you an example, okay, of combat. I'm just saying, like, the point I'm trying to say is, hold on, excuse me for a second, but the point I'm trying to say is, you would attack, you would strike the opponent, right, to stop them from coming at you to attack you. You fight to fight them back, right? Fight against your attacker. You would slip, dodge, duck, bob, weave, block, whatever, cover to defend yourself, right? To stop the opponent's attack, hitting you in the face and breaking your jaw, or nose, or rib cage. You're covering, you're covering your body to defend yourself. The same as moving. So when you move out the way, whether it's slipping by an inch, moving out the way, or covering, blocking up, guarding, or fighting back, striking back, or using your blocking, defending arms, martial arts to defend, like a sword almost, isn't it? But your arms, I'm using your arms and hands. So when the guy comes to hit me, I'm covering and I'm also hitting his arm and hurting the guy. Guarding with my elbows and stuff, so that when I'm covering myself, he's, breaking his fists on my elbows or whatever, and I'm striking back. However I'm fighting, either way, from in close range or from a distance, it's all because I'm trying to stop the danger of the attacker hitting me. Slipping out the way, covering, or just ducking, moving back. It's all the same as running away. I could run away, and knowingly or not knowingly, deliberately, I might run, and you know what I mean? And the guy tried to chase me and falls in a ditch, Yeah, so the point I'm trying to say is, life is this, even in martial arts and kung fu, not just the ways of training. When we talk about yin and yang, okay, like in the whole life, which is balancing, the two sides to everything. And then it's in the martial arts, telling you to preserve and protect your life, But not only that, but also, in its very essence, it's telling you, see, the fighting against all the negativity is fighting against illogic. It's fighting against you having to waste your time, your energy, your, and fighting against fighting. It is to stop fighting. So martial arts is to stop you burning your life up. Martial arts is reminding you that, to go in the flow of the Tao, yin and yang, right, the nature, and it's telling you to, like, avoid fights. Or someone's trying to beat me up, better stop them, bang. Stop that guy, bang, hit him first. Or in defense, what I'm saying, like you fight, right? Or you move out the way, or you cover, or you run away. It's all the same thing. It's saying that you're trying to stop this dangerous, put this fire out before it burns your house. When a firefighter goes into a house, here's an analogy. If a firefighter goes into a burning building with his hose, he is not trying to, let's have a play. He's not going there for a playtime. Let's have some fun. It's like, enjoy. No, he wants really to stop that fire ASAP so he doesn't have to be standing in the fire for too long, He wants to put the or stand from a distance or whatever it is. If there's no fire, everything's okay. I'm just saying, Not as far as the guy's job goes, fair enough. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? So the fire of your life, burning up your life, the things outside of you that bring you down or try to harm you, it's like you want to avoid those things or stop those things, Now, if we always ran away from problems, that wouldn't be good either, There's a time to fight and there's a time to run, you could say. There's people that go to jobs because they want more money. So we're talking, I said about the firefighter's job. It could be anyone. Someone wants more money, so they choose to get another job. But they're actually pretty okay, and they're actually able to get another job where they're able to live on that money, lower money, but it's still a good income enough to live on. But because they want more money, better life, so they go to do other jobs which are really dangerous or really difficult. But it's like, how much do you really need? But the thing is the same. Here's the thing. It's a time to fight and a time to run. So if everybody ran away, if nobody was a soldier to protect the country, if nobody were, police officers, and every time there was a crime, a violent, psychopathic, knife-wielding, machete-wielding thug is in the streets, or shooting a gun or whatever, or carrying them zombie knives or whatever they're called. If there was some thug in the street, if all the police just ran away and didn't exist, then we would not have that. We would not have dealing with the problem. The problem is still there, like the burning building. If the firefighter was to run away, we'd have no firefighters, and then if that was the case, I'm saying, then we'd have no firefighters. And the building would just burn down. And if we just let things happen like that, then what are you going to do? So there's a time to run away, and then there's a time to deal with things. But in dealing with it, we are doing the same thing. You're teaching us that action is sometimes necessary, but what we do need to learn is how to react effectively, not too late, and also how to react by going in the flow of the way things go. You chuck the water on the fire, it just puts the fire out, okay? But it's not to say that you always do things with the opposite, Sometimes you have to work with things and talk with people on a certain level to communicate. Like if someone says yes, 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 and I say no, 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 we're doing it this way, and the person says no, I'm doing it this way, things don't work out. Sometimes you have to go along with them. That's what psychiatric doctors do. That's what, smart, what do you call it? When they interrogate criminals and stuff and things like that. There are things where there's a psychological thing where they have to work on their level to get on the same level. It's a psychological thing to try to work with. You have to work. If you can't beat them, join them. Work with people, so to speak, on their level. Communicate in a way that they understand. If you go along with people and are friendly and things like that, and go along with what their thoughts originally are and their intent, you have a much better way, a much better chance of getting them to come and listen to what you've got to say, and maybe eventually try to steer it. You can't control people. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Whereas if you just go up to someone and say, hey, drinking's bad, stop drinking alcohol, You know, you need to do this right now. No one likes being told what to do. You know, no one likes it. Which is what happens again with like the preachers and stuff. Like some preachers, when they're trying to tell people in the world about all kinds of sin or all kinds of things which can be very destructive and unhealthy for your life. So they come up to you and they'll say something like, of course, you know, homosexuality is wrong. You're living in sin. But someone who's a homosexual, some person out there, who it may be, that person would be like angry and turn around and say, hey, what are you saying? You know, that's an insult, you know. No one wants to be told they're wrong because they think another person's trying to tell them that they're wrong. So you don't win that way. Only the truth can help. So showing when things are seen, and we need to see more of the truth in ourselves and know what's wrong or right, what we're doing for ourselves in health and nature. So again, you can't tell people the way. You tell people how to be and how to do things in their life. You just can't, you know. So I was gonna say, even when you chuck the water on the fire, it's still working in a way. Things work in a natural way. It's the only way things come to any being. Is that very interesting? Very interesting. It's unnatural naturalness and natural unnaturalness, Bruce Lee used to say. Which, again, that kind of thing, where it came from some different other philosophy, but I'm just saying. What I'm trying to say is there's laws of nature and things at play and things around, just not even at play, in present, you know, that are there. Present. You don't see how things are working out. You just know, okay, you chuck water on the fire, it puts the fire out. You know, you press this button and the system, this happens on the software. No. There are things going on behind, as we say, the interface, so to speak, what you see in there. So there are natural things in more details of the nature, and things will play. So things that would keep a fire keeping on burning. I'm not going to get too scientific or whatever. I'm not even. I don't have the knowledge to talk about certain things, but I'm saying like when other things will make a fire burn out. You see, so. The water, so it's the same with conversation. You don't just go up and try to tell someone that they're wrong, you know, or you don't always make a total peace by punching someone in the face. You know, you're a violent person, you're wrong, bang. That person could come back with a machine gun the next day and gun your whole family down. You know, it could happen. So they say it's got to be love and care. So it's got to be listening, it's got to be communication on a way that speaks to the individual in a way. But the problem is, there's a problem here that, well, is how things work. And the thing is here is there's the nature of a human being, but then there's also the language in his mind. So most people have this communication problem because their mind is in this jumbled up state of language where reflecting off of things and they're, you know, linking themselves up with what that group thinks or what's the in thing or the right thing to do. Their principles are totally mixed up because it's based on a load of mixed up mess, basically, of information. And they're not too clear about where they're at now and how they even got to this point year after year developing in their lives. And so the body's still here, the human body, but their mind is not the same person. Their mind is not the same person. Is your mind as clear and as functioning as your heart is pumping blood around your body all day? And your lungs breathing and your skin, the way it's growing or sweating if you sweat, whatever, you know, the hair growing out of your head, your bone structure, your atoms that are holding your body together, like everything in the world made of quarks, all built up of those building blocks of the universal quantum energy, well, quantum, you know, called the Planck energy, because we're made of quarks. So what we're made of them, and the flesh, blood, bone, you know, all the organs inside your body, you know, the way the body heals itself when you get a cut or whatever. No, so this functioning of the whole body that's here all the time, without any tainted, without any diverting, distracting, and brainwashing. You can't body wash. No, you got brainwashing, right? You can't have body. You can't. Someone couldn't click their fingers or try and tell you that. Oh, look, this is the culture of blah blah blah. No culture. No ideology, none of that can actually tell your body how to be. You won't start to grow wings out your back and horns on your head and become some flying angel devil thing. Everyone, some people grow less facial hair, let's say men, okay? But most men have a beard that grows. You know what I mean? The body is how the body works, you know what I mean? Most mothers will be able to breastfeed their kids. So I'm just saying, I mean, if things are what they are, right? So, like, you know what I'm saying? Most people's gums are sensitive. Most people, children have their, like, what they call their milk teeth, their baby teeth, and then they get new teeth grow. They lose them. The body is what it is. It grows the way it does, and it functions the way it does, and it exists the way it does, and lives the way it does. But people's minds is like this theatre, this cinema screen always. Their mind is always telling them different stories. Today it's reading the story of whatever it might be, the story Alice in Wonderland. So tomorrow it's reading another story about some war that happened in history in some part of the world, and trying to draw principles from it. Yeah, that's how we got to be. Not realizing that here we are, just as one tree's at the bottom of the hill, the other one's up on the mountain. You know what I mean? There's an acorn just lying around on the grass, and the sun's shining down. It's just, we're all just here on the planet, in the universe. Now, regardless of what principles people believe in, like you say, whether people believe in different gods or God put us on the earth, and all of that, and maybe there's a meaning to it and principle, and everything's here for a reason, and we've been given this earth as a home, and human beings are put here, and there's what's right and wrong, and that's the way things work. But ultimately, when you look at certain things, a lot of people say that all of that is nature. Not to say you worship nature and the created and not the creator. I'm just saying that it's all nature in what I'm saying here. So real truth, reality, as I always say, so like Tao, okay, Tao, which is yin and yang, as I say, right? This thing, this truth, we're talking about what's real, reality, okay? I'm using a word here, but it's just what's real is what it means. So we're talking about everything. So it could be God, not as outside or inside or with it, just everything. God, the universe, heaven, hell, space, this earth, the moon, everything that's real, just everything that is true, existing, everything. No matter in what way, shape or form, things we don't understand, we don't even know, we're just people, okay. Time, space, all the planets, whatever. But what's here, what is actually present, what exists, what is true, that is what I'm saying. So I use this word Tao because it makes a lot of sense. Okay, it's a Chinese word, okay, Tao. I've been yin and yang. I was talking about your philosophy is in a book called the Tao Te Ching, as I say, by Lao Tzu. Okay, it's a philosophy book. But the thing is, that's just a book trying to explain and show things. Right, but from the man who wrote the book. But I'm not talking about it. I'm saying just true, everything that's here. So we have to understand, the only power we can ever have is what we have. This is our garden, so to speak, our farm of the crops and life. This is the fish. This is the ocean for the fish. This is our existence. This is everything. What we have is what we have. What we don't have is what we don't have. It's very easy to understand. If it's not real, we don't have it. It's nothing. It's not real. It doesn't exist. There's no power. So why, again, here's the thing, how, why anyone from any country, why would you be thinking about those things? If you don't know the whole story, or if you don't, you can always ask more questions. So how can you then say, okay, this is how it is. I'm going to follow things this way, follow this culture, or follow this book, or follow what someone said, or our principles sometimes are based on nonsense a lot of times. None of it is actually, all society and everything around you sees is just made up. We can't understand and value what's truly to be valued. It's like you run to the end of your life. It's just all full up. People don't seem to have a simple way of being. So like slowly take step by step, just enjoy your life thoroughly. You know what I mean? It's like you're in the garden and you can look at this flower here. Have a good look, have a good smell, then go to another one. You can smell all of the flowers in the garden. You look at all the different things. There's so much you can see in this life. But you don't do that. You just run through it. You just go, moving on, running to the end. Talking over people. That's what I'm saying. So busy, working so hard. I want to get more money. I want to get somewhere. I want to do this. And then you're fighting with other things. It's like nothing happens. You do nothing. So you do everything. You do nothing. So the truth is, what we're trying to say is, if you could really see that you have a life here, you're in this real existence of the everything, the nature, the Tao, the universe, you're here, it's always a fresh start. You always have this, you know what I mean? This bag, this dinner plate, this thing, you have a position, you're ready, pencil and paper, you know what I mean? You're there. So what have I said in this message? I started off in the beginning with this video. I was trying to say that people don't see, or rather, do we see, certain points, what we need to value in our lives. That's what I was trying to say, With all the noise and the chaos, you need to look through the trees. You need to cut through all the mess and through all the noise of visual, sound, or whatever, memories of that. 5 senses memories, projecting an image into your mind and living in some twisted world which makes you behave insanely in the real world. Because to be able to cut through that noise, to see things, to hear and see things beneath all of that. So if you watch a video like on, let's say on YouTube or wherever, if you watch a video, okay, and you see someone walking down the street, it could be in New York, it could be in America, it could be in Japan, Tokyo, it could be anywhere, and you see someone walking down the street, the camera is filming, and maybe someone's talking there. It could be a news report, it could be any kind of footage. And there's different shots of people talking or whatever, or someone walking down the street. Now you can't remember later on, that's even more so, but I'm saying when you're looking at it, you don't actually see everything that's there. It's a street, there are lots of cars, lots of people, lots of buildings, but you don't see exactly everything that little flower shop or this sign, the words on this sign. You don't see certain things. There's things you don't see. And there's things you don't see in this, you know what I'm saying? There's things that you don't see beyond this street, that it just looks like another street to you. But there may be things that you didn't see. You need to cut through the noise and see. But not try to look for things specifically or steer things, you say. But look in a different way. This is a goal. This is a. Can you train yourself with this? And it's the same for listening. When you're listening, if you listen to sound, if you listen in your headphones, or if you listen just in a busy shopping mall, back rooms and that. So if you're in a shopping mall and you hear a lot of noise, lots of people around talking, you can hear all the voices, and in this big busy shopping mall, So, and you can hear all the noises, and you can hear other noises in the background, all kinds of ambient noise, you know what I mean? And stuff going on. But you don't really hear, unless you listen very, very carefully and try to strain your ears, I know, but you just try to hear what that person said, or in what direction that voice is coming from, or sometimes little things you can hear bits of what that person said. And that when there's loads of voices and all noises going on around you. But you may not have heard certain things, And what it is we need to find the silences, silent moments between each sound to separate. It's like holes in a sponge for the water to seep through, Yeah? Or like the fabric, when the water's dripping through, if you hang a sheet above something and rain's pouring down, gradually water will start to drip through, unless you've got a plastic covering. And so what I mean? And when a drawing or a painted picture, there are spaces between. They call it, what do you call it? Making use of the negative space. It's the negative space is what I'm talking about. Not negative in a bad way. It just means empty space. So what's there? So what's not there shows what's there, and what's there shows what's not there. You see what I'm saying? The light shows the dark shows the light, and all that. Big, small, contrast, near, far, sizes, colours, shapes, right? Composition of art. So people design art in certain ways, And our life is full of so much clutter in many different ways, and we are presented with so many different pictures. Someone shows you a picture of a house with loads of flowers around it. You walk away with a memory of that in your mind, and it's not even the exact same one. Someone tells you something. What is it called? Chinese whispers? Is it a game where someone says something and the message gets passed, or is it called telephone? I think I forgot what the name of the game is. It's passed on until at the end the message comes out in a totally different way. It's told. It's said wrong. It's lost in translation or something like that. People speak from their perception, their opinion, their belief, and their principles. Their memory, their expression of feeling and emotion based on what they believe to be true and how life really is, but living in memory, which is a blur, but it's a thick layer upon a blur, upon a blur, blur. It's like a house made with not sturdy bricks, a house made with bean bags, and it's just built up. And then if they're not placed a certain way, eventually they start to just fall off of each other and topple, and the whole thing just falls apart. If we want a stronger home outside, we need a stronger home inside. The home must be the life of the home. You know what I mean? If our societies are not about life, of being well-being, then they're not going to be a society to live in, a livable society. We have to have life as the main goal, life within us as the top principle, the value, understanding and being grateful and aware and valuing of true life. We'll see him. You know what I mean? You've got stars and positions of planets or whatever. What's that? A map for the universe, for space? Navigate yourself to the four corners of the world. You can make things like compasses and egg timers and all that stuff. You can travel on ships or rafts across the oceans to get to new land and mountains and through the forests. But at the end of the day, where are you going? And what is it that you're doing? What is it in your life that makes you want to conquer, for such a word, to get to the top of a mountain? What is it that makes you want to just make your way through this jungle and then talk about this trek that you made, traveling the world or whatever it is, or across the deserts? What did you find about yourself? There comes a time, I think, for a lot of people at least, should be all of us, I think, where you look at yourself and say, right now, what am I living for? What am I valuing? What am I getting? And even when you do end up in different places and times in the world, in different situations, different experiences, they can also teach you new things. But it's you. You have to reflect on yourself. It's all you, see. And there comes a time later in your life, you're much older, and you might look back and say, wow, what was that all about? Back then, back then I used to think like this. Back then I did things like that. Back there's a few photos of memories of that was that time I climbed that mountain. What was it? What was that? That was that time I climbed that mountain, Mount Everest. He said, no, I think it was Mount Fuji. I said, oh, was it? Oh yeah, Mount Fuji. you know, this is when I won the basketball competition. I got the gold medal. So I think you're overdoing it. You got the bronze medal, and that was actually the ping pong competition. Oh, was it? Although you were just standing beside the actual winner, getting a photo of him. Oh, I thought it was me. Can you remember your whole life story? What led you? What was it all about? What happened? Almost like the past is faded memories and in the trash. It's like it wasn't worth anything. All the emotions, all the times you've been in despair and crying or angry or happy, there's been times that are just gone. That now they're just gone in the faded with tens of years or whatever, and they've just gone past in the past. And they're not here now. And the things you cared about so much, they're just not here now. But what was it that brought you here? And what steps will you be taking in your life that will carry you? What little actions, and little steps will you be taking that will carefully carry you and not destroy you, not just run through life to waste it and get to the end, that will carry you, not just to move on to the next square on the chess game or the checkers. No, it's to get such. It's to be within yourself and be making it a good experience. And life doesn't always have to be about improvements and trying to do better and better. It's about feeling good. If you feel happy today, you feel good. If you feel even more happy, fair enough, okay. But it doesn't mean to get to the point where you're so happy, you're laughing in hysterics, and you're so happy and so excited that you have a heart attack, or so relaxed, that you just die and you're sleeping. Everything's an energy, but there has to be a balance and maintain that level, you see. So you can be happy, you can be satisfied. When you're full, you're full. You're not going to keep eating until your stomach explodes. You know what I mean? And you can do nothing and just sit back and not occupy your time and and make yourself exhausted. You can do less and less until you really do nothing. Well, nothing's really going to actually happen per se. You still have to do something, right? Because if you really do nothing, and nothing's going to come, you're just going to be sitting there looking at a wall for 10 years, like that Bodhidharma did. And people that meditate because they want to come to some kind of peace or whatever it is, If you just be peaceful and you be in the way and have that enlightenment per se, that which is always there, the essence of nature, a kind of meditation without meditation, but it's a meditation through movement, natural thinking, rather than forcing a fake kind of thinking, forcing your body through things that is not normal and a fake kind of living. If you're in a meditative state constantly, your body's like in the right way of nature, you're able to move on with your energy. Not necessarily chuck your spirit into the stars out of your body through the mind. Oh yeah, I'm in the new dimension. No, it's tripping. No, you are literally here as one. The mind and body are as one, and you're able to walk with power. That's what meditation, that's what martial arts is about, and certain exercises and yoga and all that. It's about relaxing into your power, into your energy, so you feel it as a power. There's so much you can read about and learn about, but it's like you have to see through to look, there's always more, or look outside of the box constantly. by being one, being in one with the eternal nature of everything, which is nature itself. So I can say the Tao. It's reality, what's true. Hope you've enjoyed this talk. Just over 40 minutes. Black and white. I've made this black and white, so we're going to be a bit of a yin and yang style on this one. Yeah. You take care. Thank you for listening. Peace always. Peace.